Alright, it's 10:02, and of course, it's time for Child Security and Safety Show on Jordan 105.5 FM, Lagos, my voice, your voice. How are you all doing? Good morning to you, wherever you're listening. Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Africa. It's such a beautiful day, and I'm so excited to be here. It is another opportunity to share, discuss, and educate one another on child safeguarding practices, family protection strategies, quality education for our children, and awareness creation about child abuse prevention and reporting. I'm your host, Patience Oshinaike, a child protection advocate, a certified child safeguarding officer, and an early childhood educator. Each week, every Saturday on this show, we delve into the depths of child security and safety, uncovering best practices, educating each and every one of us, and sharing fascinating insight on how best we can protect ourselves and our family. Remember that this show is brought to you by the Child Safety Education and Protection Initiative, an NGO based in Lagos, Nigeria. You can follow us on our social media platform. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And I want to say once again, Happy New Year. I hope that it is not too late for me to do that because this is my first time on the show this year, and I'm so excited to be back. I've been looking forward to this day. How was your holiday? Did you have fun? I know that a lot of children resumed school. I'm not sure if we have any kids at home, but I'm sure most of the children, resumed academic activities this week, yes. And of course, parents also had to start doing school runs, move from one place to another. Teachers are busy planning and executing. It's such a great honor to be here, and I want to say thank you to all our listeners for always, tuning in on the show and listening to, and of course for all our callers as well. It's a great year, and I'm excited on how we're going to work together this year and the big things we're going to do in our community for the safety of our children. With me in the studio, I have Tolulokpe Akingbade as my co-host. I should tell you guys something. Please don't tell her. She traveled. She went on vacation, and she didn't invite me. Tolu, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Patience. Good morning, everyone. So glad to be here.
I'm sure you can feel her smile from the mic. How are you doing? It's so good to see you.
Very well, thank you. How about you?
Why are you blushing?
You're looking so great. You're looking so good. Like, guys, Patience is so good, really. She's really a good person. She's a good sister. She's a good leader. Yeah, I call Patience a leader because that is who she is.
Oh my God.
Welcome everyone.
Thank you.
So good to be here again after the holidays, after the long vacation. I hope you didn't miss. I am definitely, you'll be looking forward to the show, and here we are now. We're back again. So excited.
Yes, it is, and thank you so much for that. And it's one of the things I tell people is that our lives is not just for us. We have to be able to reach out to people. We have to find means and opportunities to contribute to humanity. Even though we feel that, I don't have much, I don't have enough to give out, but there's something even in the nothing that you have. And one of the things that we all do is our voice. You have your voice, I have my voice. You could be a voice for someone. That's what we do on the show. This show is a child security and safety show, and collectively we come together to use our voice, to air our voice, to protect our children and to educate ourselves on how best we can protect our family and community as well. Now today on the show we are discussing the topic 2024 in focus with our focus today on family protection strategies. We're not doing this alone. Yes, I'm in the studio. I have Tolulokpe, but guess what? We have an expert in the building.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe I should tell you guys this. She's one of the lecturers at the Institute of Student Affairs Management, where I got certified as a child safeguarding officer and family protection officer as well. She's amazing. Please welcome with me Folashade Akinkomi.
Thank you.
It's good to have you here today. Good morning. She's a family protection expert. She's a certified security management and strategies operation professional. She's the lead project supervisor for childcare education, which focuses on safeguarding children and child protection of the Institute of Student Affairs Management. Good morning. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. Patience, thank you. Tolu, thank you. Nice to see you again. Thank you, everybody. Good morning.
I saw her, she was smiling when she saw me.
Thank Thank you for this opportunity. Nice
You're
to see
welcome.
you again.
You're welcome. It's such a great honor to have this avenue and this platform where we come together with a common goal. Sharing our experience and insight, and of course to also listen and hear from our audience as well.
Yeah.
All right. If you're just joining the show, this is Child Security and Safety Show, and I'm your host, Patience Oshineke, and I have with me in the studio Tolulokpe Akingbade and our guest Folashade Akinkunmi. And today we're discussing 2024 in focus, family protection strategies. How best can we protect our family this year? Okay, this should be one of our goals, right? I know at the beginning of the year, a lot of people, we come up with the New Year resolution thing. I don't know if people still do it, but I know back in the days then we're so big on, New Year resolution. We're always having our pens and papers and all of that. This should be one of your goals for the year. If you haven't, please consider it. Do it today. Bring everybody together. And of course, we're going to be sharing with you on the show. There's so many things that you will learn as well that will help you to be able to achieve this in your home as a group. All right, research consistently highlights the significance of discussing family protection strategies, right? So I'm just going to go straight to our guest this morning. Okay, why do you think it is important to encourage open dialogue about protection strategies? Why is this even? Why are we having this conversation about family protection? Like, we shouldn't talk about money and Bitcoin. And why is this important? Why should we have this conversation?
Okay, thank you for this opportunity again. We are all from a family. You're from a family. I'm from a family. We are from a family. So we need to take care of this family. And the currency for family protection is time.
Please, can you say that again?
The currency for family protection is time. So we all need time. Daddies need time. Daddies, we need time with these children. So what is family protection? Family protection is the cultivating of a law-abiding child to reign in life through mentoring. Through mentoring, we developed innate creative potential. So we need to have time. Mentoring, we need to mentor these children. These children are copycats.
Yes, they are.
Exactly what they see you do. Yeah. So family protection, like I said, the currency is time. So we need to have time for our children. If you have time for these children, whatever you imbibe in them, that's what they will pick up. So we need to have time for them. Basically, family protection, you need to have time to talk to your children, listen to them. These days we're so busy, we don't even have time. So how much more do we listen? So we need to listen to these children to understand how they feel. They have feelings, they have emotions. So we need to listen to them. We need to be empathic. There's something they call empathic listening. You put yourself in their shoes. Don't just assume you know everything. Fine, I'm the mom, but that does not mean I know everything she's feeling or he's feeling. So I need to listen to her, understand what she's trying to tell me, and then I put myself in her shoes. And then that's where we can understand what they want. You see, these children need our attention. If we don't give them attention at home, there's a lot of people giving them attention outside.
Else will,
So it's whatever you give them in the house, those values, that's what's going to stand. So for family protection, like I said, we're cultivating children through mentoring. And who are they going to mentor? You, the daddy, and you, the mommy. So we have to be good examples too. You see, family protection has VERD, V-E-R-D. I call it V-E-R-D, values, example, relationship, and discipline. Those are the keywords for family protection. So we have our values as parents, our relationship with these children, example, and then discipline. When we have this, we can work hand in hand with our children.
Wow, thank you so much for that. I really love how you begin with by saying the currency for family protection is time.
I've never heard that before.
We get so busy. We have a lot of busy schedules. We have a lot of things on our hand, and we neglect the family. So I think this is a very important conversation to bring us back into that moment again, for us to understand and know that the family is very important and we have to create time for the family. So thank you so much for that.
Like I said, I'm just where, I've always talked about time. I think this morning before we came into the studio, we're talking about how I'm able to bring in parent into my school environment, well, especially my class environment, because I understand that we live in a very busy city. I know I have a lot of people listening on the show. I have people from other African countries, but we're here in Lagos, and I can tell of Lagos, this is where I live, of how busy this city can be every day, running.
Lagos, wow. When I was coming this morning, like the traffic, everything.
Yes.
So just so.
It can be quite a lot, and that kind of influence most of our decisions and the things that we ought to do when it comes to our family.
Sure.
So we're establishing the fact that this morning we're not saying that you're not doing enough. We're not saying that you're not a good parent. We're not saying that you need to resign from work and sit with your children. No, but we're just saying that we could create a little bit more time.
Yeah.
We can become a bit more flexible.
And sometimes we tend to forget. We just forget that. We don't know. It's not something that we're deliberately doing. But because of our busy schedule, we just lost that consciousness. So this is just a time where we want to bring in that consciousness back again
and remind ourselves.
The family.
And remind ourselves that we can. Everything is possible if we're able to put our mind to it.
Yeah,
now, recounting the previous year experiences, happenings, and crises. A lot of things happened last year. From families. For those of us that work in the child safety and protection section, we're always getting reports. This is happening here, that is happening, kidnapping. I think we had a lot of cases of self-kidnapping last year as well, children kidnapping themselves and using one of them to request ransom from the parent. I was wondering what is going on. So why do you think we really need to up our game?
You see, like I said, we need that time for our children. You need to now to talk about awareness. This
Awareness, yes,
and all the things that's happening. If your children are aware that this can happen to them, then they will be more careful. So that's that time we need to spend with these children. You need to sit them down. They don't know. If you don't tell them something, they can't know it. So you need to teach it first, and that's why that awareness is very important. You sensitize them. You tell them these are the rules of the game. You see, we're all living in a free world, but the life on its own is not fair.
It's not fair.
So you need to make the children understand that this can happen, that can happen. So we need to guide them, put them on the right track, and make them know that even as they go out, they are not safe out there. So there are guidelines and rules that we need to put out there for them to understand. But you need to teach them first. If you don't tell them about it, they won't even know. So that's why it's important to sit down. I would like to ask, how many parents have like 1 hour a day with their children? We don't even have that time. We're busy, we're out in the morning, we come back late. Hey, how are you? It's not all the provisions of the things that matters. What they need is love, they need time, they need attention. How many of us give attention to our children? 1 hour. If you check it at the stretch, do you have 1 hour with your child, or 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the evening? It's very important so we can know what's happening in their lives. That way we can keep our breath with what's happening in the society.
So if I may ask, I know that I've seen quite some reports of parents saying that they experience some difficulty having conversations with their children, especially the older ones. They are always coming up with stuff. I remembered, I love to use my family as an example, and I'm sure my son is listening. On Monday was resumption, right? In the morning I was awake, for work. My kids like to wake up early, as well. And I was just talking to my son. We're just going over the whole thing again. We usually have family meetings on Sunday. So on Monday, we're like, you're going to school, you resume second term, put in your best and all of that. And it was like, okay, Mom, yes, I've heard you, but they said that this year we shouldn't grieve for anybody. I said, excuse me? What is that? So this is the phrase that is everywhere. So when he said, as a child, is a teen, is 12, it's going to be 13 soon. Yeah, it's a preteen. And when he said that, I just knew that influences the word. So I took extra 10 minutes. I said, okay, you know what you're going to do for me? If you think that what everybody is saying, that no grief for anybody, is what we should go into the school environment. So I think I will need you to do this. When you get to school, when your teachers say, stop, you guys have to be quiet for now and just write. Don't write. When your teacher gives you homework, don't do it. When you go back in the morning, tell her that they said we should not grieve for anybody. Then you look at me, I saw the whole sarcasm on my face. I'm like, Mom, no, I'm not going to do that. I said, so what were you saying by no grief for anybody? So I think like I was trying to ask you is, I know parents sometimes we are not always that patient, to having conversations with the children. Sometimes we feel that, hey, you can't say that. See, the truth is they can't say it. Yeah. That's it. Let me give you that. Children can say, they can say anything they want to say. Now, but you have to be as deliberate as possible. And you have to be able to bring it out. So on Monday when I got back from work, I said, so what's up today? Did you grieve for anybody? And And he said, oh, mommy, you know I'm a good boy. I wouldn't do anything that will hurt other people. I said, so why do you have to tell me in the morning that this? He said, you know, I just play. I said, you better be play.
Well,
you know.
I like that because that's also your name, patience. So I think it's, paying attention and all of that. Parents have to listen. They have to be patient with their kids, with their words. So I think that is very important.
Very, very
in this
important.
Conversation. So it's not just listening, not just paying attention, but be patient.
Yeah.
Don't just raise your voice at them and say, okay, I love the way you really attend to him that way. So to give him that, it's going to give him that knowledge, appropriate knowledge. It's going to pass the appropriate knowledge to him. So you get to understand what these things are all about.
And I had to break it down to basic things that goes throughout the day. Your assignments, your homework, class activities, snack time.
Yeah.
When they say eat, don't eat. When they say you're making noise, start screaming. Then let's see what happens if your teacher is even going to agree for you. But you work with families, right? And you get to also talk to parents most of the time. But how do you think parents, especially for older teenagers, how do you think parents can overcome those challenges, surrounding them, having conversations and creating awareness?
That's a very good question. My daughter is 13, she'll be 14. So sometimes when she comes home and say, mommy, this, like I said, empathic listening. Just listen first.
Yes.
Understand what she's trying to say. So I try to understand what she's trying to say, what she's talking about. I want to understand what she means before I can just chip in whatever I want to say. So I listen to her and then she'll ask me, so what do I think or what do I feel? Then I give her my own opinion. I've listened to her and I understand what she's trying to say. So there must be active listening, not just listening for listening's sake.
Exactly.
We need to listen. We need to be careful before we begin to dish out our own advice. And it's not every advice that they will take. Like you're just explaining your son saying, they say I should not grieve for
anybody. Like, so you see, what's that?
Very important. You listen. When you listen, you understand what he is trying to say or what she's trying to say. Then you need to be clear about what you want him or her to do.
Yes.
I'm happy the way you were able to break it down. If it's time for breakfast, it's time for this, don't do this. The message must be clear.
Yes.
If the message is not clear, they won't understand you.
Yeah.
And then they just go ahead to do what they want to do. So for teenagers, we need to listen to them. They feel, I'm grown up now. I'm beautiful. I have a breast. My breast is growing. I'm tall. I'm, everything. All the futures is coming out already. So they feel they're adults.
Yeah.
So we need to pay more attention to them.
Yeah,
listen to them. Understand what they're trying to. Fine, I'm still the mom. But then we need to understand what these children are talking about. You see, we call it Jet age, they call it the G's, the Gen Z age, or whatever it is. But whatever it is, like I said, the active listening, you must be empathic. You must understand what they're trying to say. The instructions you're trying to give must be clear. Then you must address the misunderstanding. If there's a misunderstanding, you need to address that misunderstanding. Then avoid negative language.
Wow.
You must be positive. She's even saying something that doesn't make sense. Just be positive. Listen to her, understand her or him, and hear him or her out. When you're able to do that, then you can sit down and say, okay, Nifemi, this is how it's supposed to be. Then now she asked me a question. She said, mommy, what if I come home and say I have a boyfriend? What will you say? I said, I won't say anything. She said, I was expecting you to say something. I said, you know what else? I'll just ask you, are you ready for the responsibilities?
That's a good question.
If you're ready for the responsibilities, why not? And what are the responsibilities? Then I begin to break it down. And then when she hears the responsibility, then she has a choice to have a boyfriend or not to have a boyfriend.
Exactly.
And the last question is, are you ready to get married now? Are you ready to get married at 14? Or do you intend to be married at 16? If you don't have that plan, I don't understand why you need a boyfriend now. So she was able to see the because she's trying to say that her friends have boyfriends. She comes home and says, mommy, this person has a boyfriend, he has a girlfriend. I said, are you ready for the responsibilities? Once you're ready for the responsibilities, why not? Go ahead.
Teenagers and their curious
minds. We really need to enter into their shoes.
That just influence.
Sincerely. They go to school, they see a lot of things happening. If you find a 13 or a 14-year-old child is so big, now grown up, you don't even know the difference. You don't even know whether the person is an adult or a teen.
You almost call them adults.
Thank you very much. We need to, and then our instructions need to be clear.
Yes.
Concise. We need to be correct, concrete. We don't just dish out informations, garbage in. No. Now they are grown up, so they want to understand why you're saying that. My son will ask me, mommy, why did you say this? Why? I think they're asking all the questions.
It's okay for them to ask why.
Yeah.
It is okay for them to ask why.
Because if they understand why, it makes it easy for them to be able to negotiate it outside. When somebody tells them something, they understand the reason. My mommy said this because of this.
Yes.
But if you're just giving or dishing the information, they just... sometimes they're not even listening to you.
And you don't even understand.
Pass through this ear and go to the next one. So we need to explain. You know, it takes time. Sincerely, patience. If someone doesn't have this patience, that is your name.
Yes.
We can't handle this.
Where most parents miss it is that these teenagers have questions. They want to know these things, but you know, some parents are not patient enough to.
We're
listen
not even ready for
They will
your
ask-
questions.
They will say, "Don't ask me this question. Just do what I asked you to do." And that's it. Meanwhile, we are not doing it right that
We're
way.
not doing it right.
So it's not just about parenting, but parenting with
With care.
intentionality.
Intentionality.
And then, you know, we need to be cautious when we're talking to these children. Like I said, they have emotions. You don't just think because you're the mom, you can just dish it as it is. They have emotions. So you need to be cautious when you're speaking to them. You need to be polite.
Yes.
I'm the mom, fine, but I need to be polite. I don't have to be rude to my daughter.
Yeah.
That way, you know, like I said, mentoring, family protection, mentoring, true mentoring. It's our behavior, our character. We call it CAMB, character, attitude, mood, and behavior. CAMB. They will begin to see all those things and they will learn from you. If you look at your children, you will find what you've been doing in them.
Of course, I see that every day.
Sincerely. So we need to be intentional. If you want your child to come out excellently well, then you need to be intentional, even with your own character, your attitude, your mood, and your behavior, because they are learning exactly everything. Sometimes you sit there, you see, I find myself in my daughter, and I say, oh, I don't want this.
This is a great reminder to tell us that we are the first role model that our children see, and they want to do all that we do, not just what we ask them to do. This is the Child Security and Safety Show. I'm your host, Patience Oshinaike. We're getting a music break, and when we're back, we're going to delve into other aspects of family protection strategies in 2024 and what is expected of each and every one of us. And of course, we'll also be opening the phone lines. We'd like to hear from you. What are your goals for the year? How do you intend to protect and safeguard your family and of course the community at large? We'll be right back.
Gbàdúrà fún mi, bàbá mi máa ṣohun rere, gbàdúrà fún mi. Tọ́mọdé bá hùwà burúkú, wọ́n á ní ìyá rẹ̀ ló fọ́. Tọ́mọdé bá hùwà burúkú, wọ́n á ní bàbá rẹ̀ ló fọ́. Ìyá mi fọ̀nà tó dá mi láyé, bàbá mi fi wá tó dá mi láyé. Ayé tí mo wà yìí kò máa yé mi o. Ẹ̀yin ni Ọlọ́run kejì mi láàyè. Ìyàwó ẹ̀ ṣeun rere tí wọ́n dára. Bàbá wa ẹ̀ ṣeun rere tí wọ́n dára.
Welcome back to the show. You're tuned into the Child Security and Safety Show, the ultimate destination for child safeguarding and protection devotees in Jordan 105.5 FM Lagos. My voice, your voice. I'm your host, Patience Oshinaike, and we have been discussing the topic, family protection strategies for 2024 with my co-host and guest speaker in debating as well. It has been a refreshing time of exploring how to best protect our children, our family members, and our community, all the way across all settings.
So we want to hear from you, our amazing listeners, and the phone lines to call is 090-6000-3352. I'll call it again, 090-6000-3352.
Yes, please call us. Do call us in and let's hear from you. What are your goals for for your family for the year? What have you planned out for family protection? And if you have any questions on how to go about this, you can also call us in on the number, and we'll be ready. And we're here to take your calls and also learn from you. Remember, we talk about family. We're not just referring to. We have a caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling us from?
Yeah, good morning.
Oh, wow.
Hello, are you there?
Wow, do call us again.
Please do try to call us back. Network, please. This is 2024. Be nice. Be nice to us on this show. All right, please do call us again on the number, and we'll be ready to hear from you. We want to learn from you. We also want to get your questions as well. The phone number again is 0906-3352. 0906-3352. All right, before we go on the music break, we're discussing effective communication, how we can best enhance this in our family and ensure that we are up to date. We got a caller again. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Oracle, calling from Ocean Buchanan.
Hi, Oracle. It's so great to hear from you again. Good morning.
Good morning. Actually, from the discussion this morning about the reminder on parents as well as children, I discovered a lot of things, and I'm in the system. I did a survey of children within the age 5 to about 18. So at times it's caused by parents. There are some parents, I don't know whether they are baby parents, they need to be in fact upgraded. So the way their parents are behaving, they carry it to schools. And they don't have manner, they don't have ethics, they don't have anything. So because of that, for you to change it, it takes time, because this thing is the fundamental from the home. So apart from that, they come to the society, they misbehave. Apart from maybe some of them engage in drugs. As young as children at age 9, 10 now, they are on drugs.
It's scary.
So all these things are affecting society. So we study. So based on that, yet we still have to be friends to our children, because if we fail to give them attention, they will give them lecture outside. And I say they still bear our name and they will cause trouble. So instead of doing that, let's do it with love. And not just talking alone, we need to be spiritual as well. Giving them spirituality from the start. From there, they will have the fear of God. And as well as we also need to encourage the school owners. It isn't easy. The school owners, they need to undergo training all the time. So school owners, CEO, they don't actually have the absolute experience. So they need a consultant so that they can move, because attitude to control human beings is not an easy thing. And there are some teachers, if they are not happy, they will translate it to the children, and children will not be happy. When they come to the room again, ask, why are you not happy? Is my teacher job? Is my auntie job? So all these things, we need to balance it up in churches, in mosques, in the school, in the home. So our society will be a better place. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Oracle. It's always a pleasure, hearing from you every Saturday on the show. Thank you for sharing that with us. It's quite alarming. We have younger children going into drugs. Yes, getting involved. I saw a boy yesterday, I think somewhere around Ikeja, just after the bridge. Yes, and that boy should be like maybe 8 or 9, and you could just see how he was behaving. So somehow it prompted me to ask somebody very close to me that what is going on? Is his mom around here? Because sometimes you have people in stores and their children are just loitering around. And you say, that's his mother's shop. The boy, he's on drug. I said, why would you just say that casually? Are you serious? She said, yes, that he's on drug. There's a way, so I don't know. I was like, oh my God. So it's quite alarming. A lot of things are happening out there, and as parents, we have to sit up. And one of the things I advocate all the time, especially on my social media platform, is the community-based child protection approach. We have to be able, we have to be able to get involved. We don't have to push it. Gone are those days where we do the blame game thing and say, oh, it's a family, you have to take care of the children, is the society, provide the resources, or the school do it. We all have to come in as one to be able to provide the support for the children. Now, earlier in the month, I came across an article that was emphasizing on the importance of staying close as family members in public places. It's talking about family protection and providing children with basic self-defense techniques and tips that will help them to be aware of their surroundings, which is very important, because we know we can't always be with them. However, the feedback from most of the readers were quite shocking. As people have different opinions about teaching children self-defense techniques and tips, and some people were like, okay, why do you have to go all that? Why do you have to do this? Can't you just teach them this? So as a family protection, this is your field. You teach people about it. You lecture it. How would you react to this? And where do we draw the line between teaching self-defense techniques to children and developing their curiosity towards physical assault of others?
Okay. Thank you. I think we should go back to domestic violence. Domestic violence. Domestic means in the home.
Just home.
So it happens from the home first.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to protect these children. When we talk about domestic violence, not only between couples, even children are being violated.
Yes.
So we need to be very careful. And then we need to make these children aware of domestic violence. At what limits? What is supposed to be accepted and what should not be accepted, even from the home.
Yes.
So when somebody does that to them outside, they will know something is wrong somewhere. My mommy says this is wrong, so this should not happen to me.
Yes.
So we need to keep them aware. There are tips we need to talk to them about, even with strangers, what they need to do and what they don't need to do.
Yes.
So for the self-defense, it's very important you prepare your child, and once they take the practice. I know our society looks, why should your child go and learn karate or
taekwondo, boxing?
Very important, because you don't know where they will need it. But besides that, there are also some tips that we need to just get them aware. When a stranger comes to the door, maybe you leave your child at home, you tell them this and this. You don't open the door for strangers, because I've not asked anybody to come home. You don't open the door for anybody. Just keep them aware. They need to. There are some. There's some tips they need to know.
Yes.
Just keep them aware of what they need to know in their surroundings. So when anything happens, something strange happens, they will talk. They will speak out. Like for safeguarding children, we say you see something, you say something.
Yes.
So for the community to work together, it has to start from home.
Yes.
Like charity begins at home. Your children need to be aware of what is wrong. They need to know what is right and what is wrong before anything happens outside. So when somebody does something wrong outside, they'll know, no, this is wrong, because mommy said this is wrong. Do you understand? So we don't just expect, if you don't tell the children, they can't even know what is wrong. So you don't expect them to go outside there and somebody does something wrong and they will know it's wrong, because you've not told them about it. So we need to talk to our children about the rights, the do's and the don'ts. They're like for safeguarding, we say you don't do for a child what the child can do.
For himself.
The child that can go to the restroom to unzip his trousers, you don't help him do it. We mothers, we're trying to be overprotective. We don't even let the child move
Or even breathe.
We just want to move and do everything for them. But it's wrong.
Yes.
This child cannot grow up. Do you understand? We need to give them space for them to practice and know what is right and wrong. Fine, lay down the rules. This is this. If you do this, this is the repercussion. This is the consequences. And then give them room to practice. And then they will stay by the rules. We don't have to do everything for them. You can't do everything for them. One. Two, we can't be everywhere
with them.
We can't. You're not God. You can't be everywhere. So teach them and then you let them be. When they make mistakes, you let them come back home. But then we have to be careful the kind of mistakes you allow them make. So that is why it's important we talk to them about those steps and those things they need to know. If they don't know it, they'll just mess up. So we don't want our children to mess up. That's why at home we first train them. You teach them, you don't do this. Like about sex, we need to talk to children about sex. Talk to them from the home. So if anybody tries to misbehave outside, they will know that this is wrong. For the boys and for the girls, we tell them, the girls, you don't sit on any boy's lap. No uncle, no cousin, you don't sit on their laps.
Not even your brother.
It's not acceptable.
Yes.
You need to lay these rules down so that when somebody goes outside, even when you're in the bus, public bus, I mean, if the child doesn't have space, don't let her sit on one. Somebody just come and sit on my laps. No, it's not allowed. You don't let them do that. And then for the boys, or there are just some basic tips that you just let these children know at home. You don't play this way. Nobody touches your private parts. Nobody, call the private parts the name as it is. We don't give it funny names so that when somebody touches them, they won't understand. Make them know what they should know at home. So that when they go outside or in school, Somebody was talking about school owners. Let me tell you, if you don't teach your child from home, there's nothing the school can do. The school is going to try their best, but if they come back home, the home is the foundation.
Yeah.
Once they don't have that knowledge at home, forget it. No matter what the school teaches them, if they come back home, the home will corrupt it. So it has to work. We have to work hand in hand. That's where collaboration comes in.
Yes.
Collaboration from the home, from the school, the streets, the neighborhood. That's why we say you see something, you say something. Don't just say because it's not my child, I allow the child. No, when you see something, you say something. But before we begin to allow you go out, sometimes we look at it, we say that the children are outside, you can take care of somebody outside. What about your children at home? So we need to take care of our children at home, spend this quality time with them, explain what they need to know so that when they go outside or somebody harasses them, they will know something is wrong somewhere. So it's okay when they go for taekwondo classes, they go for
boxing and all that. Yes,
boxing. My son goes for boxing classes, and
I do boxing as well.
People keep wondering why is he learning? You don't know where to be useful.
Yes.
You understand? My daughter was also doing taekwondo classes, so please let them do all this. It's just for self-defense.
Yeah.
There might be a time they will need it.
It also helps to build their self-esteem.
Yes.
They'll be able to say no. They'll be able to know what the right thing to do when they are, when they are confronted with issues like this.
Yes, I know. That's why I said you don't do everything for the child. You give them room to do things. Allow them to make decisions for themselves. Don't make all the decisions for them. Even when they have something, they bring it to the table. Try to, okay, so what's your opinion? Hear their views. Don't always be the mommy and the daddy giving all the decisions. Because when you make decisions for them, they go out there, they will not be able to make decisions. My mom is not there. But when you allow them from home to make decisions for themselves, when they go out, they will know what to do, how to handle it. So it's very important. We really need to give them space. The children have their own space. Fine, you're the mom, but they still need their space. If you give them space, you'll be surprised what these children can do. Amazing things. Oh, my child cannot do this, I'm always sweeping, cleaning up, washing. When do you want the child to learn? As little as washing up plates and sweeping and cleaning up. Allow the child clean up his room. It's your room, so you clean it up. Don't allow the house up to do the cleaning and everything. The child will not know anything. Honestly, they'll go out there and they will mess up. So it starts as little as cleaning, doing house chores and carrying.
Because all of that actually helps them to be aware of the
environment. It just helps them to build their mentality and it helps them. You greet an adult when you see. My son will ask me, why am I greeting? I said, I must greet everybody once I pass. He said, but do you know him? I don't know him. I don't know her, but I need to greet. I gave him an example that as I'm greeting them and as I'm walking, peradventure something happens. These people will be able to defend me one day. And he got it. So sometimes you just keep giving them examples and give them reasons why you have asked him to greet.
Yes.
So anytime anybody you pass, greet. As long as whether you're mates or they're older than you or they're younger, please just greet. Does the greeting take anything out of you? Nothing. It just adds to you. So anybody can pick up and say, that boy greets. Do you understand? But you have to do it first as the mom. So as I go around, I greet. You say, why are you greeting? Do you know? I don't know him. I say, I must not necessarily know him before I greet. And then you see, they begin to learn. So we need to be the ones to be the example. Like I said, mentoring. The dad and the mom, they are the figures these children are looking at.
Yes.
So the children need to see us do it first before
they can do it effectively.
Yes.
It is important. Like you said, more emphasis on community collaboration. We have to work together.
We have to work as a team
together. And I think one of the things that Oracle was talking about with schools and all of that, because I work in the education sector, and I can tell for a fact that charity starts from home and all of that. But on the flip side of it, if we have a home where you have the children grounded and they are doing so well, morals, and they're in a school environment where
something is
the
wrong.
values, the morals,
Yeah.
and for children, like the Bible say, evil association corrupts. So the school also have to also sit up. So I'm just going to ask Tolulokpe this question again, because I know she works as a school counselor, and most of the time she always has to deal with issues with children and growing teenagers. Well done. Good kudos to you. Well, I work with younger children, so for me, I'm like the judge. I'm always the judge because there's something for you to settle. So for the children, for the older children, the teenagers, how do you differentiate? How do you sort out issues of, I'm just defending myself, or this person was assaulting me? In a case, children got involved in physical interactions and all of that, and somebody gets to hit the other person, do this. How do you get to resolve those issues? Because sometimes even when you have siblings at home, children that are siblings, where I have 2 kids, and sometimes my son is saying, "Mommy, she did this," and she goes, "No, he did that." Well, in my house it is not allowed. You keep your hands to yourself. Right, you want to say things, watch what you say, but you keep your hands to yourself. You're allowed to be angry, but keep your hands to yourself. So how do you manage it? How can you tell that, oh, this child was just defending his or herself, or he was hitting or he was harassing the other person physically on purpose?
Okay, firstly, what I do is that I made them understand what bullying is all about. Because this is also another conversation that children need to be, teenagers, they have to understand.
Yes.
So I let them know what bullying is, because majority of them do not know exactly what bullying is. They just feel, I'm just playing with her, I just eat her like this now, I was just trying to
put her hair,
and all of that. So it is from awareness, from making them understand, like you said. So everything still boils down to awareness, making them become aware of these things, what it is and what they are not. So in a situation where they come and one is trying to defend itself, you try to understand that situation and then allow them to speak as well. Okay, you say your own. Okay, you two say your own. Let me listen. Okay? So you don't judge that one person is right or wrong. So you just try to weigh the situation and just let them know, okay, this is what really happened. This is the wrong thing that just happened. Maybe one of them did the right thing or one of them did the wrong thing. You don't just judge that way, but you just give them the right explanation about the situation of things. So, and what happened, make them understand.
Yes.
So everything still boils down to listening to them, let them, because at that moment I see it as an opportunity for them to share their mind. They try to share their mind. Okay, so you say what happened, or what about you? Say what happened, then you listen to them. When you are empathetic and you listen to them, it makes the difference, and then you try to make them understand what they do that is right and what they do that is wrong. Not judging from them, but judging with that situation. It's not making them the example or trying to impose on them that probably one of them is wrong. You don't make them feel bad. You try to make that situation itself. You just judge from the situation, from the person of the teenager. They don't like a situation where you start blaming them. Tell them that, oh, what you did, you are the one that did the wrong thing, you are the one that did the right thing. Oh, he did the right thing, she did the wrong thing. Whereby one of them start feeling bad. So it takes listening. We talk about active listening.
Yes, empathetic listening.
Active listening, be active, try to understand the situation, also get them aware of the things that they need to be aware of.
Yes.
So
this is actually, I love that, and I think this is one of the things that parents will also have to take into consideration this year as we go about teaching our children self-defense techniques and how they can best protect themselves and be more aware of their environment. You also want to teach them about the right approach in handling conflicts. Okay, we want them to protect themselves, want them to be protected as well. But you also want to teach them that, see, it is not, in fact, you shouldn't even have a case where you have to go all out there physically to, hit somebody or slap somebody because you feel that they are stepping boundaries or they're just coming into your space. All right, we're going to go on a music break, and when we're back, we're going to look at internet safety and how we have to be on top of the game again and again and again and again and again. In the house now, any small thing, my son will be like, Mom, you're from the millennial generation, I'm generation Z, my sister generation Alpha, or 3 different generations. So, our access to the internet. I said, excuse me, see, I am not that old. I am not old. So this is the Child Security and Safety Show, and we'll be right back.
Dreams. We are the nation, we are part of this. We are the nation, we are part of this. Carry the song, carry the sound.
I go always pray for you. I go always pray for you. Make the grace of Jesus see you through. I go always pray for you. As all of us they go our separate ways. Na good story we go to tell when we see again of how God done bless me and bless you too. I go always pray for you. And even if I fall from you, you will always be my heart. It's not true, not true. I just want to let you know, say, whatever I do, will surely meet again. And when we meet again,
All right, you're welcome back to the show, and this is the Child Security and Safety Show, your ultimate destination for child safeguarding and protection devotees, where you can always hear about insight and tips on how we can best protect our children. And remember that on this show, one of the things that we always talk about is how we can effectively curb social vices and child abuse in our community. And one of the ways to do that is to report. We usually have cases, there are always cases, but one of the things, that encourages more of those practices is that we don't report. A lot of people are scared. I don't want to get into business of other people. I don't want to be the one that they will come after and say that I'm the whistleblower. But guess what? What we do here is the Child Safety Education and Protection Initiative. We partnered with the Child Protection Network, Lagos chapter, and the Nigerian Police to address cases of child abuse, molestation, and violence. And what you can do for us, like I said at the beginning of the show, we all have a voice. Okay, what you can do for us is to reach us on this contact number on this rescue line and report any case. You don't even have to share your name. Just tell us, what is happening, the child, and some information that will help us to address the situation. You can call us on 070-1444-4792. I'll call the number again, 070-1444-4792. Please do reach out to us if you witness anything, or you could sense that something is going on in your neighborhood and it doesn't feel so right with a particular child or family. We'll be ready to take up the case and ensure that the child or the family or an individual is safe in that environment. All right, you're still welcome back, and we're discussing about family protection strategies for 2024. Now, you would all agree with me that over the years, internet abuse has become something very alarming and ridiculously, how do I even explain it? We love internet. I use internet. It has helped us so many advantages and all of that. But on the flip side, our children, our young ones, are falling victims of internet abuse every now and then. Now, I'm just going to reach out to our guest here, for her to share with us on some of the practices that would help parents to be on top of their game in promoting digital safety and advocating for responsible digital citizenship in 2024. How can we help our children to make good use of the internet this year?
All right. I want to first say not every child needs the internet. So we need to have age gap. What age are we looking at? Now, fine. Every school now they use the internet. They use
e-learning.
They use e-learning. Fine, but how do we manage it? Because you find children doing a lot of things online, which is not supposed to be. Now, for the teenagers, we can make them see, for you to be online, remember that anything you throw out there can't be taken back. Once you just make them understand that they need to be careful, then you need to be responsible for your actions. Anything you put there, if you want to use the line, you want to be online, the online community, you must think of safety, be ethical and respectful. You don't just throw anything you feel like throwing out there. No, you have to think critically what I'm putting out there, because your reputation matters. You need to protect your reputation. That's your daddy, your mommy, your reputation. And then we need to obey the laws. What are those things I can do and I cannot do? As parents, we need to make our children understand anything you throw out there cannot be taken back. So you need to be careful, especially when girls send their pictures out. You can't take your pictures back. Nude pictures, half dressed, half naked.
Even boys.
You can't take your pictures back. So you need to be careful what you're doing. So, and then we parents, we need to monitor what the children do online. So, there's parental guard now. So once your child is using the internet, you have it, you can control it from your phone. What you want the child to have access to and what you don't want them to have access to. And then make these children to think before they do anything. Avoid over sharing ideas online. You can get carried away. We just came back from Bahamas. You begin to send pictures on Facebook and others. Is it necessary? If it's not necessary, you don't do it. So we need to sit them down and make them understand the rules of even being online. When they understand all this, it helps to curb a lot of dangers. And then, like I said, you need to protect your privacy. Make them know that they need to protect. They have a reputation to protect, and then they need to check their source. Whatever they are doing, report any illegal activities you notice, And then you, the mother or the dad, need to check what your child is doing online. You know, children are so smart these days. Before you come, they already changed what
The screen.
Yeah. So we need to be very careful. We need to check it. Let me see what you're doing. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Can I be a
You
part of
understand?
it?
Can I
Want
be
to
a part of
join
it?
you?
Yes. You have to be your friends, your children's friends on Facebook, so you can know what's happening. So, and then we need to keep checking them, monitoring what they are doing. For those in school, we really need to monitor them. Even the school monitors them, but at home, who monitors them? You just find children everywhere now with phone. The mother doesn't want disturbance. They just give a child a phone. And they don't even know what the child is doing. You know, the cartoons also, they are corrupt. We have some cartoons and the children are not to be watching.
Yes.
And it's online. So we need to be very careful when we give those phones out. I was living this morning and my son was saying, Mommy, send me data. I said, no data. Because I'm not going to be home. And I cannot
Exactly.
even know what you're going to do.
Exactly.
Do you understand? But besides that, we need to make them understand what is it that you should. There are sites you can't go to. But you know, funny enough, there are some sites that just pops up on your phone
Yes.
as adults, and so it can pop up on your child's phone too. So we need to tell them what to do and what not to do. And basically, we just need to just monitor them.
So we don't just give them what they want always.
Yes.
all the time. So we learn to tell them no too.
They should be able to understand no. You know, if I keep mentioning, if you don't have a no, if everything is yes, yes, if you go outside and somebody says no, you're going to steal.
Yes.
Because you've never had a no for an answer. So we need to make our children know there are boundaries.
Yeah.
There are boundaries.
Even on the internet.
Even on the internet. And then internet time, there should be time, there should be restrictions. This time to this time, you can have access to your phone from, you know, I take the phone from my son. For 2 days, you won't have phone. You know, you don't get them addicted to it. You need to make rules.
Balance it out.
As parents, even for the screen time, the same thing goes for our internet, the online conversation or whatever. You need to have boundaries. Give them rules. This is when you can have your phone from this time to this time. From this time to this time, you can't have your phone. You don't allow them to have the phone all through the night. I mean, what are they doing?
What are they doing? Exactly.
So we parents are the ones that
Every
need to
parent is
monitor
spending
it.
too much of time online.
But do you know it as a family now? The daddy's on phone, the mommy's on phone, the children are on phone.
So I think one of the shows that we had here last year, we talked about the internet use, and I raised the question about how we have this is really a question, but you know, an open and insight for parent that you have to have conversation with your children that even if they see you on your mobile, they see you on your gadget late hours, they need to know that you're working.
Doing something, yeah.
I am working. I am not just having a chit chat. They need to know that when you get to my age or when you get to my stage, you're likely to find yourself in this place.
Yeah.
So I think it's communication.
Yeah.
Because you know we can't. I rarely watch TV except maybe on Fridays because we have movie dates in my house every Friday. But other days I don't even have the time to sit and watch TV. But you know they know that when mommy is on a laptop, maybe till about 9, 10, 11, they
Doing something.
She's working. She's probably working on a document. She's not just, you know, having long phone calls and chit chatting and all of that. Even during the day when they see me on my laptop at my room and my work desk, mommy is likely going to have a meeting or she's up to something very official. So we also need to have that conversation with them because you're a child. I'm an adult. There's some privileges you can't, you know, have right now. Why would you be on your phone throughout the night? What are you doing?
Who are you talking
Who are you talking to? What kind of conversations are you?
That also make them understand the positive internet usage.
Exactly.
The internet has to be used positively, not with the negative.
And that is why we parents have to set the boundaries.
Yes, we have to set the boundaries as well. And with that, we have come to the end of today's captivating episode of Child Security and Safety Show, and it has been an amazing ride. We hope that you've enjoyed the deep dive into the world of child safeguarding protection, remembering the quest for knowledge on how best we can protect our children, family, and communities. I want to say thank you to our producer today, Mr. Razak. He's looking, you know, very good, lovely, enjoying his holiday. I'm sure he missed my face and he see my face again. I want to thank you to my co-host, Sonilokwe from the Bahamas. We're going to do the year together. I'm looking forward to a year of impact and you know, positive influence as well. Of course, I want to say thank you to our guest, Folashade Akinkunmi. She's an amazing person. She's, in fact, I want to see more of her face
You
today.
are so loaded.
She is.
No,
We're into it together.
Thank you so much for coming to share with us. And of course, to our most adorable listeners and everyone who tried to call us, today, thank you so much. We appreciate you. And of course, don't forget that whatever you learn on the show, it is your responsibility to share with others. Don't keep it to yourself. When you're having conversation with people, you're on a bus, you're at school, drop off, your children in school, start up this conversation. You're having PTA meetings in the home. You have external people in your home. Talk about child safety. Talk about child protection. And don't forget that this show is brought to you by the Child Safety Education and Protection Initiative. We're on Facebook, Twitter, we're on Instagram as well. You can always reach out to us if you have questions. We have loads and loads of ideas to share with you, and we have experts who would also be willing to come to your school or come to your community to share the goodness of how best we can protect our children, our family, and our community with us. Remember that collective family protection and child protection requires a collective responsibility, and be sure to say something when you see something. Join us next time for more valuable conversations. My name remains Patience Shinaike, and feel free to follow me on all social media platforms, as well as my co-host and my guest. Tony Lokpe Akindade. She's on all social media as well, and of course our guest as well, Folashade Akikomis, is also available on our social media platforms as well. Here's wishing you a great weekend. Stay safe out there and enjoy yourself. Please just have fun, have fun. Eat, please eat, have fun. Visit people. You have to call somebody today. Put a call through and check on how they're doing. And we'll be right back next week. Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Have you seen the sun? Have you seen the moon? They are shining light for you. And have you seen the stars shining in the dark? 'Cause